Hi, crafty friend. It's Justine Dvorak from Stationery by Justine, where when I craft, my world stands still. Today, I'm going to make a craft roulette card, and I'm super excited. I'm going to use the Spin Cycle die set and the Loads of Fun stamp set. And these are both from Trinity Stamps, and the die set is actually from also Trinity, collaborated with Craft Roulette. So how fun is that? I think it's pretty neat. I love a collaboration. I think it's always really fun when that happens. And this is going to be my take on episode 275, Craft Roulette episode, that is, with Hannah C. and Mary Gun Fun, of course. And I really had fun with this one. So I was mostly inspired by the ATC part of the parameter. So the parameters were for this show. You can see them. I have them scribbled very sloppily on that pink Post-it note, but the element needed to be, the project. So the main thing had to be an ATC, which is called an artist trading card. It needed to be 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And I tried to get that as close as I possibly could. And I was looking through my dies and such, and I just wanted to play. I wanted to make a shaker. And I found this die set that I got was it last year? I think it was last year when I was a guest designer for Trinity. They sent this die set to me, and I thought, let's use it again. I am part of the team now. I was asked to be part of the team this spring. So I love supporting the companies that I work with. So this week, my Craft Roulette video is going to be a Trinity Stamps one. And I know that a lot of people from Craft Roulette love Trinity. So maybe this is something you already have in your stash as well. So I'm going to create a little well for some shaker bits right on top of my washer, and I'm going to make it a washing machine today. You can also make it a dryer with the little windy die set, or the little windy die that's on the main set there. So if you wanted to do like a washer and a dryer together, that'd be kind of cool. I still haven't done that with this die set, but I would love to do that at some point. But I have acetate glued onto my washer, and now I have a double layer of foam, and I just created a little well for all of my little shaker bits to go in. I'm also going to put some of the die pieces in the laundry, so it looks like there's actually laundry getting washed. And I will be pulling fun embellishments from my stash to coordinate inside with my little shaker element there. I love a shaker card. I just find them to be extra fun and inspirational. So that washing machine was my ATC. Now, can it come off? No, I did not make it able to come off, but that's what it is. It is what it is. So I'm showing you here the embellishment set that I used, and it's called White Dots, which is perfect because the random element this week was white dots. And you're going to see white dots all over my project. I have white dots on the water that I just took a gel pen to and added white dots to it. There are white dots on the buttons of my washing machine. There are polka dots on several clothing items that are folded or just in the laundry basket. They're everywhere. Why not just put them all over? By the way, the color palette was Starry Night. So this is kind of a stretchy pants moment on the interpretation of the color palette. But I did find these embellishments from Pajama Crafter Stamps that were called a Mermaid's Tail Confetti embellishment. So I'm also going to add those to my washer. They're really little and so perfect for something like this. But my Starry Night, I am part of the world where there's occasions where we see the northern lights, and there is this tealy blue green in the northern lights, and you usually see them at night. So I'm going to go ahead and lean into that teal color, and also the white gray colors of some of my laundry pieces are going to be that Starry Night as well as my
as well as my washing machine is gray and mirror cardstock. I pulled the shiniest piece of mirror cardstock from my stash that I could. And do you see that teeny tiny little sock? Oh, I had to die cut it out 3 times, and I did color it with not gold. I colored it with YR24 to make it look like a gold toe little boot. Shoe, sock. Anyway, I've got my shaker window here. Of course, I got glue in the center. Just buff it out with my little rag there. And I like to put liquid glue around my shaker elements sometimes. You're going to see me struggle here. So I'm leaving all the mistakes in. We're not cutting anything out this time. I just have certain elements of the video sped up or not. Oh, there's my nose. But I like to just let my shaker items stay. Oops, it looks like I accidentally stuck it to my mat, and I don't want to wiggle any of that around until that liquid glue is dry. So I'm kind of in a predicament at this point. My ring started lifting and I thought, oh, I better put something over it. But it's right in the middle of my work surface, and I knew that I needed to sit for probably 30 minutes. So I end up taking my little pokey tool and lifting it up and moving it. So just know that. But a good thing about shakers is always making sure that you get as much of the sticky out of the area as possible. So something that I will do with that is to use liquid glue like I used there and just let it sit. Don't touch it. Just let it sit. It's so hard to just let things not move around because I don't know, anything interactive, you just want to move and shake. But I decided to just let it be. But I am going to move it. So just was just too big in the way. So I just grabbed my little pokey tool, lifted up some of that foam, kept it very flat. Oh my. And just left it on that tray. All right, let's focus on the laundry basket. This is going to be full of a whole bunch of clothes. I'm going to try to make this as 3D as possible. So I'm adding different little pieces here. I try to stay within a neutral-ish color palette, something that you might see in Space because it's Starry Night color palette. So maybe some brown from some is it meteors or asteroids? I should probably know this. I don't remember at the moment. Some yellows because some stars have that yellow color like our sun does. And then more of those neutral colors as well. I just love the little socks. I think they're so cute. And then this one that ended up getting the polka dots on it that's going to hang over the basket is just so adorable. Now my top basket here is just going to rest on top of my bottom here. And I've die cut out very teeny tinily, so card surgery once again, and just made these teeny tiny strips of foam that are double layers. So my laundry basket's going to look very dimensional once I put on the top. And this is just so fun. I'm going to add liquid glue to really make sure that it's not going to be moving around, because this card I'm actually going to send off to Trinity Stamps once I'm finished with it and enjoy it for a while, because I'm on the design team and it just helps the company, you know. So I want to make sure that this is made sturdily. Haha. Is that a word? I don't know. So liquid glue it is. And then this hanging sock over it, like I said, is just so cute. It makes this look so real. And just like there's a sock hanging out. It's a mess, etc. Now I'm known for forgetting my sentiment until the end and then kind of having a oh no moment. So I'm going to go ahead and be ahead of the game and smartish and try to do it before I start gluing all of my detailed die cuts on top. Little do I know, I wish I would have moved it over, but I didn't. Such is life, you know. So I've got that little anti-static tool from Rabbit Hole. I've got my Versamark clear ink. I'm going to do the sentiments that say loads of appreciation. I'm going to stamp it twice so it gets a really good stamp. And then the second stamp that I'm going to incorporate is thank you. And I want it to look like it's part of that same loads of appreciation. So I'm stamping it after I stamped the first one and really pushing it up toward the word appreciation. So again, it looks more like it coordinates. Now my loads of appreciation, I didn't clean it amazingly last time I used it. So it is a little dark, but once the powder's on, you can't even tell. And I'm using white embossing powder. So I've got my heat gun. Just give that a quick little heat. This is sped up, so don't think I'm like crazy with caffeine or something here. I mean, I did have caffeine today, but not like Energizer Bunny fast. A little bit of a paper. This was a 1-inch strip of paper, 1 by 4 1/4, just to give a little ground for my items with a coordinating color cardstock. And I just end up thinking, oh, wait, do I have room for my washer? Nope, sure don't. Better move it over. This is what I mean by I'm keeping mistakes in. I've been doing this for a long time on my channel. I like to keep mistakes in because everybody makes mistakes with cards. And a lot of times it gets edited out of videos. And I remember when I first started, I felt so defeated when something would be, I don't know, when it just wouldn't work on a card. And I would think, these people always know how to do everything so good. And it just fits and the colors are awesome. And no, everyone struggles and everyone has oopses and mistakes. So just keep that in mind if you're new. All right. Speaking of which, I wish that I would have moved my cluster of sentiments about 1.5 inches, maybe a half an inch to the right and up, because I think it would have sat on my project a little bit better. So there's that. But you live and you learn. And I'm going to make some embellishments kind of scatter from the machine going up to that right corner. So it creates this line for the eyeball to see. So the eye looks at the card and you're going to go from the top right, scatter down to the dryer or the washing machine drum, and then you'll go to the laundry basket. That's kind of my vision. So it makes this kind of little arrow, and that direction really does help. So I am pulling out embellishments from my stash. I'm also going to pull out white sparkle dots confetti. Those are also from Trinity. And I'm going to just putz with them until they look right to my eye. Did you catch the little sock that I put down under the washing machine? That was the element, was down. And I also have my laundry basket down on the floor. So to sum it up, I have my ATC size element on my card, which is my washing machine. My colors were Starry Night themed, especially with the Northern Lights. My element was down, so I have the sock down under the washing machine. And white dots were my random element, and they're everywhere, all over this card. So great job, Hannah C., for being on Craft Roulette for the first time. And if you haven't checked out Craft Roulette, I'll link my episode that I was in down below so you can check it out. It's so much fun with 2 ends. You can join in on the fun. Every Friday night they have new challenges. So it's awesome. You got to check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye, crafty friend.